Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. Finally, I'm sorry for the delay between episodes, but we are finally back again with another episode of my Montreal Canadiens franchise mode right here on NHL 18. And today, well, we begin the off-season. Perhaps we'll go through the entirety of the off-season. I really can't say for sure. The fact is, despite the extra couple of days between uploads, I still don't have a set plan as far as what I want this team to look like. And when it comes to the idea of trading Carey Price or Max Pacioretty for picks, for example, because I'm pretty sure those are the two players at the very least that everybody expects to be traded, I'm torn between hoping to get a good return by trading them, for a really good pick, or guaranteeing myself getting a good return, guaranteeing myself and getting a good return by waiting until after the draft, being able to see every option that's out there. And that's the strategy that I'm going to lean towards. I know some people have, classified that as unrealistic in a way, but it's happened in the real NHL before. It's happened in sports where a couple of days after the draft is, like, oh, okay, well, this is where we're going to make our deals. PK Subban wasn't traded at the draft. From my recollection, he was traded a couple of days after, if I'm remembering right. Or was it a couple of days before? Point being, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this team because yet again, we failed. Yet again, despite all of my efforts to stick to the game plan of winning with this team, it just hasn't happened. And now we need to really reconsider our future. And that begins in this episode. Now, of course, we do have some players here with some half-decent potentials, of course. No real steals except for this guy right here, Rene Matthew. 18 years old, exact elite, more than likely low elite, but still, any steal right now helps. We could take the risk on Goodrow. I do wonder how we've scouted somebody 9 times and they're not an exact potential. That kind of scares me, but considering he's a goalie, he's going to be worth the risk, especially in the 3rd round. We have quite a few exact top 6, but they're all in the 1st round. So we're guaranteed to get somebody half decent in this draft at some point in time. As we get a look at our draft pick situation, we have the 16th overall pick, 2 second-round selections within 3 picks of one another, 3/3, a 4th, 3/5, and 4/7. It's not quite what I expected. So when talking about players that we could move, yes, Carey Price's values plummeted. Surprise, surprise. Do you guys think I didn't know that was going to happen? Of course I knew that was going to happen. The plan was to win before it happened, or to at least won by this exact point in time, so that we can trade him but say, hey, at least we got the cup, who cares about a lower return? It didn't happen. That was the mission statement for this series. Win with Carey Price, win with Max Pacioretty. I wanted to win with Galchenyuk. He wanted out. We still have Gallagher and so many other players that were on this team from the start. It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. So as far as our goaltending future goes, nobody listed here is safe, including DeRozier's, who is our most valuable goalie. But the fact is, he's 54 overall at 19 years old. He's not going to make it. I'm willing to bet on that. And if he does, he's not going to be great. I'm also willing to bet on that. Carey Price, odds are, is going to be traded. Cassian is not going to make it. DiPietro, he's not our guy for the future. Hallinan and McNiven will more than likely be let go. Niilo Hallinan hasn't improved whatsoever in the past few seasons, and McNiven isn't the guy. Unless we give him another shot as a backup goaltender. He had a great year down in the AHL. As an AHL goaltender, he looks to be the man, but I just don't think we can rely on him to be the backup. I think our best option would more than likely be to explore free agency. But even then, we don't know what goalies we're going to have on this team. When it comes to the defense, I still say for the most part, we're pretty much locked in. Salo will more than likely be dealt. Winquist is definitely going to be dealt. So we have the opportunity to move up at the very least, and I think I'm definitely going to try and take advantage of that. Whether or not we can move up into the top 5 or even the top 10, we have tried before in both the current ongoing series, if I'm not mistaken, and very rare now do teams apparently want to trade, especially when they're in the top 3 or a top 5 spot. It's at least worth checking, and if we can't get that done, we're pretty much just going to trade whoever we need to. When it comes to those prospects that we could move out right now, you know, the 60 overall guys who aren't going to make it, do I trade them for a draft pick? Do I hold on to them until after the draft and then move them at that point in time? So again, I can make sure that I get a decent return. Why gamble? This isn't the real life NHL. I have the advantage of this being a video game. I might as well not gamble and get back the best return that I possibly can, unless, of course, we have limited trading partners. But yeah, this is shaping up to be a fairly uneventful draft, I got to admit. I think we'll just sim to our selections and take it from there. Every player that I plan on moving will do that towards free agency. So let's just go through this draft. First overall pick was Yoshi, 81 overall medium elite. You had Schwarz, 80 overall, 77 Ruchin, 79 Ling, and 72 Hartnell. So let's take a look here. It's who's still on the board for us at this point in time. We have the exact top 6 Wozniewski, the top 6. Yeah, I hope he's sick. The top 6 Wozniewski. I don't really trust taking anybody else, although the goalie Tavares, we might have to take the risk on Pete Tavares. Of course, the last time we acquired somebody named Tavares in this series, it didn't work out too well, did it? Riesner could be decent, but despite the fact that there is that goalie in the 3rd round I view this as an opportunity to end up with 2 goalies who might be worth actually having on our team. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to risk it for Tavares. When in doubt, go with the goaltender. We could get a decent forward in Wozniewski. We could get a decent defenseman in Alan Riesner. But we are taking the 19-year-old goaltender, the American Pete Tavares, even though we don't know a damn thing about him. And it worked out all right, but not tremendously. Medium elite at a 56 overall. Again, he's 19 years old, so he is not our goalie for the future. He is too low of an overall. The key is that trade value, which is what we're going to be able to use to rebuild this team. If you are caught up to date with the Hartford series, we're going to be using a very similar strategy, if not the same exact strategy, to help rebuild this team. And that is getting the most valuable players that we possibly can and using them to go out and acquire the players that we actually want from other teams. And whether or not that's viewed as cheating in some way, I don't know. Hey, if you view it that way, I'm sorry. But my job is to turn this team into a winner. Wow, there was a trio of goalies selected. 2 of them are medium elite. I have to do what it takes to win with this team. As it is, people are frustrated that I thought we were going to win with that team, even though we've seen what some Stanley Cup winning teams have looked like in this game. So that's still a little bit puzzling to me as well. But again, the goal is clear. We'll win the cup, and we're going to look to do just that. Is that Valerie Bure? I'm sure it is. It's Victor Bure. I suppose there was only 2 options there. So here in the 2nd round, Goodrow will absolutely be one of my next selections. Every other pick is shot in the dark, hope for the best. We do have 2 second-round picks, do we not? Okay, we do. So with this selection, we're just going to hope for the best. We don't have much info on these players. I'm thinking Jennings, just because we know nothing about him. We don't know anything about Edler, McClement, or Victor Bure. Let's take a look here. We have Howard Clement, the 18-year-old American. We have Christian Edler, the 18-year-old Swede. Oh, it's Edler or McClement. And I feel like I'm more likely to get an elite player from Sweden. I'm going with Christian Edler, who is at least an on-par selection at medium top 9. Can't be too upset about that. Not the steal I was hoping he'd be. Will he eventually make our team? Probably not. And with this next pick, again, I'm going to take the other goaltender, that being Louis Gaudreau. Louis Gaudreau. Let's go with Louis, because he's Canadian, right? From the Victoriaville Tigers, 18 years old, medium elite potential. Could he be better than that? Will he be worse? Unfortunately, he's worse. Only a medium starter at a 55 overall. So that is a little bit disappointing, as Emmy potentially makes her presence felt. I'm not actually sure if she would have picked up on the mic there. Smoskowitz, great pick. Because the clock's running, give me a second to walk to the other side of the room and let this dog out of this room. There we go. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Because that way, I mean, I suppose I just could have said, hey, I gotta let the dog out of the room, make the jump cut, and that explains why the time went from one place to another. Son of a bitch, I didn't realize we had the next pick. I hit sim to pick. Oh, okay. I just made a mistake. I hit sim to pick. Oh, wow, we missed out on Cleary, too. I hit sim the next pick twice. It took a third goalie. Cycla, medium fringe, 58 overall. Well, you know what? I'm not overly disappointed, because odds are I wouldn't have had information on these players anyway. By the way, squeaky chair for the win. Wouldn't have had any information on these players anyway, and that's probably who I would have taken. Even right now, I'm looking at Yablonski, Rodriguez, or Clutterbuck. Perhaps Semenov. Yuri Semenov, 19 years old. What do we have for Clutterbuck? 19 years old. Bob Clutterbuck. Charles Rodriguez, or Travis Yablonski. Let's go. Low interest. No interest in Semenov. I'm going for the goalie. Clutterbuck's the guy. Fourth goalie selected. Medium fringe. The Montreal Canadiens are desperate for their goalie of the future. And so far, we don't have them. But at the very least, goaltenders do have some trade value. Let's go for the Belarusian Semenov, perhaps. Is there anybody better? Not exactly. At least not that we have any information on. So, of course, we'll go ahead and wait to select the player who is projected to be undrafted. We'll take the Belarusian Yuri Semenov, and it's not quite a steal. High bottom 6 is a fairly disappointing potential. And this is why I didn't trade up for any picks or anything like that. Didn't want to risk it with the draft, because it is just beyond a crapshoot. Now, at this point, I don't think I'll take a risk on any more goalies. Don't worry. Even though one of them was obviously an accident that I didn't mean to do, you can blame Emmy for that one. Although, Milan Pilar could work out. You also have Evan Von Arx as a potential option. Rycroft as well. All right, well, screw it. I mean, we don't have information on a lot of these players, which is extremely concerning. We got Prince, Perreault, and Matthew, who I'll probably select at one point or another. So for now, let's go with Pilar. Let's hope for the best, right? Why not? Medium starter, 52 overall. Some people might just despise the way I am going through this draft, and I completely understand it, as we missed out on a duo of low elites there. But when it comes to selecting players, like, would I have selected Raymond? Probably not. Look at all the garbage that came after that. What else am I supposed to do? Go for goalies. I know they're going to have a little bit more value. Doing what I got to do. Setting this team up. Just give me a chance. Now that I've pretty much said to you I'm committing to the idea of waving the white flag on this team as it stands, you got to give me that opportunity. Now, to make myself feel better, Rene Matthew will be selected. I'm fully expecting low elite, and that's exactly what it was at a 53 overall, but still, it makes me feel better. Low elite in the 5th round. We'll take a risk on the next two players that were in line there. That being Perreault. Pierre Perreault. Couldn't be more French if he wanted to be. Medium top 6 to medium bottom 6. This just isn't going to go my way, is it? The theme continues, the trend continues of just trying to make me miserable. But we'll continue on. I'm not going to throw in the towel on this series anytime soon. We're going for it. We're going for glory. I will bring a cup to Montreal, damn it, or die trying. Wayne Prince, 17-year-old defenseman, is going to be our next selection. Wow. You know, I could sit here and say how much I don't like the scouting system. You already know that at this point. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and you watch. That goalie will be amazing, right? Do we go with Bonk? Peter Bonk. Why not? Who cares at this point? Peter Bonk is exactly as advertised. Pretty garbage. That's unfortunate. I mean, if I didn't make these picks, you know, I would just sit here more than likely and just trade up. I'd get a couple of thirds and second rounders for next year. That's pretty much it. Do we have a 20-year-old, perhaps? An overager who might be an elite that at least has potential. That's what we're hoping for. We got a Slovenian, but he's not quite what we're looking for. Oh boy, wouldn't it be so nice if I could use the triggers to sort through all of these players. Could you imagine? It's almost, I almost feel like they had that in this game before. Can you sense the sarcasm? Some of you probably don't. Dennis Schaefer is not a pick. Silverthorne, Chad, you know what? Screw it, I'm taking him. Chad Silverthorne, just because of your amazing name, your medium backup 57 overall. But damn it, your name is spectacular. How could I not select you? How could I not? Bissonnette's 18. We'll keep looking, either for a great name or an overager. Hey, Zach Peluso. There we go. 20-year-old Zach Peluso, the Canadian. He's either going to be hot garbage or somewhat decent. Unfortunately for me, he was hot garbage. What do we have? One pick left? Please, just put me out of my misery. Only one selection left. Let's get this over with, shall we? Damn it. I don't know who to pick here. I have no idea. Going for the overager didn't work. Low top 9? Try that strategy again. Alexander Ulanov, the Estonian? Sure. Why not? Let's go for it. And he absolutely sucks, which is just tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Wow. What a way for this episode to go, huh? I can't have it be just the draft, because that was miserable. We didn't get a single player that we're going to be keeping long term, just nothing but prospects who are going to be used in order to acquire other players over the course of this offseason. So you know what? I missed a couple of days with uploads. Let's have this be a marathon, although you have to give me a second as I reach for the old trusty notepad with the paper so that we can keep track. You like the sound of that paper? I hope you do. I hope you do. This chair. My God, this chair. All right. Let's do this, shall we? Let's do this. We have the paper to write out a depth chart. Once we get to that point, we'll see who we're keeping. We'll see who we're getting rid of. We have to try and re-sign players to contracts. Let's see what happens, shall we? So for goalies, McNiven and Hallinan, I might bring McNiven back maybe, which I could regret letting him go. Whatever, you're gone. How many goalies did we draft? Oh my God, 6? 6 goaltenders selected. I don't think any of them will be staying here long term, to say the least. So we really don't even have to re-sign them. Moving on to defenseman, Matt Dumba. Needs a contract, which I'm willing to pay for now. We'll try the 85% trick. We'll drop that down to 5,275. I went way too far. There we go. We'll see if he accepts that. Samuel Girard, I'm not opposed to bringing back. If he'll at least sign for cheap, that would be great. 1,575 for him. I again went too far. 2 years at 1,575 is not a bad bit of business. Josh Brook, as long as he wants a two-way deal. He doesn't. He wants a one-way deal, which is pretty ridiculous. You might think, too, it's a bit excessive to do the 85% trick, but if he's going to ask for a contract that he hasn't earned, then damn it, I'm not going to give him what he wants as far as a contract. Simon Bork also wants a one-way deal. Are you kidding me? That's stupid, but sure. Just even though I know he doesn't have any value, but sure, just to bring him back and to be able to trade him. Jalen Chatfield, can't remember. You're gone. No offense to the guy in real life. I just don't care to know your name at this point in time, as I am focused on nothing but redeeming myself and setting this team up. I mean, I don't know. Like I've mentioned, to me, there's no reason as to why this team should have struggled as badly as they did in the playoffs. On paper, are we the best team, or were we the best team? Absolutely not. And I get that. Mike McCarron, you have been a good foot soldier. Feel free to go test the open market, buddy. I thought you'd stay here long term. Feel free to go test the open market. Will Bitton wants a deal. I'm not going to sit here, though, and keep talking about the old team. I've explained how I set it up and why it didn't work. So be it. Now we have to look to move on. And that's what we're doing here. That's why this episode will be a bit of a marathon. Brady Tkachuk. Hopefully we can sign you to a good deal and immediately trade you. There is no future for you here. 4.775 for you, sir. Joel Farabee, however, may just be sticking around, especially, too, if we're not as well set up as we'd want to be. As I punched my desk, that's always a great feeling. Nothing like compounding the emotional pain of watching this team fail year in and year out with the physical pain of accidentally punching your desk, as Samu Jaskalainen is absolutely insane for thinking he deserves that much money, but I don't want to lose him. And then again, maybe I should have sent him a qualifying offer. You know what? I probably should have done that. Now that I think about it. That's what I get for not paying attention. Chris Tierney, for now, you're gone, buddy. Probably in general, you are gone. It's hilarious to see some of these players asking for deals after they've had absolutely no NHL experience. But again, we'll give in to their requests for the moment. It definitely should have sent him just a qualifying offer, because there's no way with his trade value that we'll get more back than what we would have for the qualifying offer. Too late now. Jonathan Drouin wants an 8-year deal. We'll sign him for the moment, especially if he's willing to sign for cheap. Josh Norris wants $5 million. That's down to 4.25, if I am not mistaken. I do believe I am correct there. At least I certainly hope so. Nick Shore, I can't guarantee you a spot here right now. And that's how you guys know change is coming. I'm letting go of a lot of my favorites from the bottom 6. That is how you know I mean business. So we're mainly just looking to re-sign the big-name players for the moment. From there, we'll figure this out. We're going to have to search through the entire league to find the best players available, as a lot of people are rejecting the 85% trick. A lot of people didn't, though. So that's good. We'll go double check to see who came back and who didn't. Again, we should have the money. Yeah, we got $31 million in cap space. We're golden to be able to hand out some of these larger contracts, so that's fine. Kasperi Kapanen and Preston Garlock. Garlock declined. Are you kidding me? Here, 1.3. I won't try to get that much of a discount. And Kasperi Kapanen, I don't even know if you're staying here for too long, buddy. How about 6x2? If not, we'll probably hit you up with a qualifying offer at this rate. Goalies are taken care of. Jonathan Drouin, 8 years. How about at 6.3? Matt Dumba, 3 years at $6 million even, perhaps. Josh Norris, let's go 4.75 over the next 4 years. Brady Tkachuk, 5.5 over 3 years. And Joel Farabee, how about 2.75 over the next 3 years. Hopefully they accept and make this quick and relatively painless. Can you tell how much I went from being somewhat optimistic? I think you could kind of hear in the tone of my voice at the start of this episode. I'm like, you know, maybe this will be okay. Maybe we'll get this to work out. We'll find a couple of steals in the draft. So already, I feel like we're a little bit behind the 8 ball, and that we need to, as that is not the right phrase for the situation. We're in trouble. We need to make this work. I am just going to offer these players what they want. I should have the cap space to sign all of them to that, I think. Potentially. Possibly. We shall see. That's a lot of money, but I think we'll have just enough to make it happen. Although I can't claim to have even done the math in my head as I was going along. I just kind of admitted defeat. So it's fine. Dumba rejects. Drouin rejects. Kapanen accepts. Tkachuk rejects. It's a goddamn mutiny. It's a mutiny because they know I have given up on them. So they're giving up on me, and they're trying to leave before I could use them to actually help rebuild this team. So great job there, fellas. So we have 19.9 million. Hold on, let me see. I cannot do the math in my head right now. I'm so sorry. I can spend an average of 6.6 million on each, which should be fine. All right, so I can spend an average of 6.6 million on each. So we're going to bump Drouin up to 6.8. We'll hope that he accepts. I mean, it would be nice. It would be nice. Let's get the math down. Divide that by 2. 6.5 on average. So we'll go 6.5 flat out for Dumba. And then for Tkachuk, we'll bump that up to 5.9. And we'll see if he accepts. Yeah, we still have plenty of money to make this work. It's just a matter of not running out of time and hopefully not having to, hand them ridiculous offers, because we still want them to be able to be traded, as all three still rejected. Are you kidding me? As if if I wasn't sold on the fact of just getting rid of all of these players, I certainly am now, as they are trying to screw me over on their way out. How about 7 million over the next 8 years, which leaves us, which leaves us essentially, 625? I cannot do the math here. We should still be fine. We should still be fine. For Dumba, he rejected 6.5, so I'm going to go up to 6.9, actually. 6.5 for 1 year, that might be enough. And where is Tkachuk? What can we sign you to, buddy? How about 5.8 for 1 season? We are running out of time. There is a really good chance that we're going to lose all 3 players to free agency. And to say that would be a disaster would be an understatement. You could call me Mark Bergevin. All 3 rejected. Holy shit. Okay, well, this is the last day. This is the last day. If they reject, they are gone. So that's just tremendous. So Matt Dumba, again, we have $19.9 million to spend. We can spend an average of 6.63 on each person. So, because we know we can spend a little bit less on Tkachuk. If I go 7 and 7, let's go 6.9, just because it's hilarious. Same thing with Drouin. There's no way Drouin will accept that. So let's see. We went 6.9 for Dumba. Let's go, what if I go 7.25 for Drouin? That would be at 14.15. And that means we would have... I did the math totally wrong. Jesus. Whatever. We're going to lose them all. I've admitted defeat with this core. It's just... It is so frustrating to have seen it come to this. So we'll see who accepts and who doesn't. If nobody accepts, then whatever. Whatever. We'll see what happens. It was our last day to send out offers anyway, because they're being overly difficult. We'll see who stays. We'll see who goes. This is going to be a journey. Again, I can only hope. Dumba's gone. Drouin's gone. Tkachuk's gone. All right. So we just lost 3 players for nothing. The Marc Bergevin tactic of keeping that core together is officially a failure in both the real world and in the video game world. So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at goalie prospects as if we needed more. Hey, there we go. There were a couple. Staples and Tunnell. Staples and Tunnell, neither of which will actually really be stars in the future, but could be decent pieces for us to trade away. How bad are we going to be next year? Bad. Very bad. Rodin is also a potential signing option. The low elite in Pirnez. It's also an option. Medium top 4 in Travis Dermott. No thank you. Low top 4 in Gannon. No thank you. Yes, I know Cale Makar is there. Yes, I am tempted to sign him at high elite, although the fact he hasn't improved by more and only put up 40 points last year is kind of scary, but he is a right-handed defenseman, and I got money to spend. Let's go up to 5.3, 5.5. Over 3 years. I could spend more. Don't necessarily want to. You know what? I should have sent them a one-year deal and just maxed it out because we have $19 million to spend. Unfortunately, for my sake, I cannot claim to be thinking completely clearly at this point in time, not due to no other reason other than just I feel so defeated by this game, and I'm so disappointed that we were so damn close and that it's come to this. Simply for that reason. It's that feeling of defeat and that feeling of how the hell are we going to get out of this? Because I don't know the answer. I don't know how we get out of this. I don't know how we turn this team into a winner at this point, other than hoping that the same old tricks work again. That's pretty much the only way, as again, we are going to lose quite a few players. We just sent out 11 contract offers. I'm not even sure how many players we have signed right now. You know what, to be honest, it doesn't matter because we're going to the proposed trade section. My thought process right now is, do I make a jump cut? Or do I just air all of this? You know what, we're making all this live. Let's go. To make up for the fact that we haven't had a video in a few days, this is live. We're going for it. Let's see if we can find our goalie for the future first and foremost. Corey could be it. 72 overall at 20 years old. Let me keep track of that. Again, that's why it's nice to have a piece of paper or, you know, your phone in front of you or something. I prefer paper so that I don't get distracted. Danielson, 77 at 22. Not ideal, though. At 22, that's just not ideal. Bruins don't have anybody I want. Buffalo, same story. Nobody there. Carolina, wow. There are not many elite goalies right now, are there? Colorado, they have a Kiprusoff. But nobody else that we really want. No great goaltender for the future. We're going to have to find the one guy, kind of like Petrolainen in Hartford, that is actually worth getting, who could be that guy for us moving forward. And to be honest, he might not exist in the sim engine at this point in time. We might have to wait. Slater's a 67 at 19. Kopetsky, 66. We're running out of teams. We're running out of teams. We're running out of options. Matt Murray, there we go. That's our option, right? Martin Jones, Mrazek, Vasilevsky, Richmond. 86 overall, 22 years old, and they want to trade him. We found him. He's on Tampa. His name is Spike Richmond. And I recall potentially, or thinking about getting him in the past, although, Thatcher Demko, and we haven't used him, but Carey Price doesn't have that much value. Shea would be fine, 77 to 20 years old. It's Spike Richmond. No doubt. Spike Richmond is the guy, and he's a solid enough goaltender right now. Tampa, I hate to trade within the division. Let's talk. Spike Richmond has to be the guy. Unfortunately for you, it doesn't make much sense for you, but if you could take back Carey Price's contract, that would be tremendous. Most of all because he'd be a backup. On top of that, My question is, yeah, I would still have to give up Tavares. I would still have to give up Tavares in this deal, but I'm okay with that. Do they have another prospect that I would prefer to pick up? Hedman, Sergachev, who's not quite a prospect. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to have Sergachev right about now? Wouldn't that be cool? Sizik? 77 overall at 20 years old. That would be a tremendous pickup. The problem is they don't want to trade him, but we might be able to get that to work. Sizik and Richmond. We have Price, Tavares, and a couple other goalies that we can tack onto this deal to potentially get this to work. And again, as long as my thought process of they're not going to be good players turns out to be correct, we're going to be fine. I'm having to go all in here with our two valuable goaltenders and Carey Price, but Richmond and I believe it's Chiswick, it could be Sizik. Those are two guys that we need. So I have a feeling that there's a chance of this possibly going through as it stands. Let's just try to pick horde, see how close we are to getting a deal done. And it's very, very close. Price, Tavares, DeRozier's for Richmond, Chiswick, a first, second, and another second, actually. And in return, we'll throw back a 4th round pick this year. Is that enough? No, it is not, but Carey Price is going to Tampa. How about a 6th round pick as well? Is that enough? Not quite. We know Spike Richmond's the guy, though, so this has to happen. From Carey Price to Spike Richmond. One way or another. Let's go 3rd and a 6th. Is that enough? Still no. It wouldn't be a deal with Tampa without Steve Yzerman just making sure. I mean, this is what I do to the computers. I try to get every last bit out of the AI that I can. The problem is, I swear EA programs it so that Steve Yzerman is actually the GM and he's ruthless. I don't want to give up my 3rd. I'd rather give up Carolina's 3rd. Price, Tavares, DeRozier's 2/3 for Richmond, Sizik for a 1st and 2 seconds. There we go. You wondered when it was going to happen. A lot of you have been waiting for it for a very long time. The deal is finally done. Carey Price, along with DeRozier's and Tavares, who I hope never make it to prove me right, are off to Tampa. Carey Price is a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I sent him to a team where there's a decent chance he could regress in time to not even be the starter. But what a 1-2 punch for the Lightning with Vasilevsky and Price. Damn. That's all I can say is damn. Now the problem is, we still have a shitload of goalies here to get rid of. I don't know who our backup's going to be this year. It might be DiPietro. I mean, it could be. Or I could look for a better backup. Again, 82 overall is where you're at that fringe of elite backup, low-end starter. So I'm not sure who I'd want to get. I mean, I can go take a look at the free agent list right now. Not to mention, we still have those 11 players that are going to be coming into the team, potentially, as many as 11 players. Let me take a look at the free agent list, but blockbuster number 1 is done. I have Ronta, so Michael Hutchinson is there. It's funny, Lindgren, McNiven, 2 goalies who I really wish had worked out. I think for now we're okay with DiPietro. We can find a better alternative mid-season if we need to. So let's go ahead and look elsewhere because, baby, we're just getting started. So goaltenders, we know we have pieces to move there. Quentin Hughes is still a member of this team for the future. I'm still all right with Noah Juleson. Darnell Nurse is decent, but not completely ideal. And you could argue now's the time to get rid of Kevin Shattenkirk. Although Hughes, Juleson, Nurse, Shattenkirk isn't terrible with Mete and Girard as the 3rd pairing. I'm not saying it's a great defense, okay? Calm down. But we could do worse. We could do worse. And we have so many players. Brooke, Bork. These guys just don't have any value whatsoever. And they're not going to make it. So we need to completely re-overhaul our defense. The signing of Quentin Hughes could certainly help. Not to mention now the ridiculous amount of cap space we have after trading away Carey. we might be able to make a bit more of a bang here. Matt Dumba is a free agent, but no thank you at this point. I mean, I still loved that Dumba and Nurse pairing, and would still love that to be the pairing. I think right now, if we could get Hughes, Makar, Nurse, Dumba, and then either Mete, Bork, or Gerard with Juleson, that would be pretty solid. Or even sign someone like Jordan Schmaltz, Ian McCoshen to be on that third pair instead. You know what? I think we're going to go for that. Because as far as trade value goes with some of our players, I don't know how many more elite defensive or forward prospects we're going to be able to get. So we need to splash some cash right now. And we'll see if Matt Dumba is willing to come back. We'll go 6-5 over 4 years, and we'll hope for the best. And when it comes to the third pairing, Schmaltz is a righty, unfortunately. We have Ian McCoshen as an option. Funny enough, Danny DeKeyser has a much better offensive category. McCoshen's a better skater and is more physical. It's DeKeyser or McCoshen. It's funny though, DeKeyser's better with the puck, but McCoshen would be on a pairing. Well, actually, he'd be on a pairing with Juleson, as that's shaping up. Unless, of course, we don't get Makar, in which case we're going to need Juleson. So we'll wait to see who we're going to bring in, but I would like to bring back Matt Dumba and Cale Makar, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure, again, what this team is going to look like completely. We shall see. Vladimir Tarasenko's there. Again, I'm not sure what I want our offense to be. So let's take a look at the team yet again. We know we have so many players that we're going to be moving out, potentially for prospects, potentially for picks. I'd say the next step is to look through and see what prospects we could pick up. Alex Galchenyuk's an 86, by the way. You scumbag. Sam Steele is there. Racine, but he's not really going to pan out. Bachman, 70 overall at 20 years old. Bradley Bachman, 83 offensive awareness as well. That's not bad. Low elite in Schofield. Bachman could be decent. Let me keep track here as well. We'll do the best we can. So we have Bachman, 70 overall at 20 years old. Medium, top 6. Not the ideal player to start off with, but someone who could be easily obtainable. Yes, I know someone like Sam Steele's there, but how much better is he going to get? The answer is probably not much. Arizona. They still have Strome, Keller, Tamora, Lindros, Chychrun, Riopel. My God. You know what? Actually, let's just get rid of some garbage. Let's just get rid of some garbage, including Ikonen, including Christian Vesalainen, who's never going to make it. Philip Deneau can stay for the moment, and we'll tack on Edler to this deal. See if we can send them all to Boston. Hate to dump them on the Bruins, but hey, you have contract spots. So let's just safety net this. Let's see, is a second and a fourth decent? How about just a second? I'll take it. Second round pick for a bunch of garbage that we're never going to use. Thank you very much, Boston. I do appreciate it. We're going to get rid of everybody we don't need. Matthew, though, has a little bit more value, so we'll hold on to him. We'll hold on to him for the moment. Left wings. Yeah, you can all go. Jake Leschyshyn, potentially a fourth liner. Not happy with his attributes whatsoever, so he is gone. The rest have at least some value, so they can stay. Odds are Frolik is being traded. You know what? I'll tag Frolik onto this right now. And Semenoff has no value whatsoever. Try and send you out to Calgary, I guess. Just to free up as many contract spots as possible. Is a first rounder too much? Yes, it is. How about a second, third, and fifth? Is that too much? How about a second and a third? I'll take it. Again, we send a bunch of garbage out to Calgary, a bunch of players that we either don't need or aren't going to pan out the way we needed them to. These guys at least have value. Mateos, Bitten, Kravchenko has a bit more value, so he can stay for the moment. And then on defense, Simon Bork, I'm sorry, you're gone. We'll also tack on Prince to the deal, and Josh Brook. And we'll send you out to Colorado. They only have 35 contracts at the moment. So, Lord knows they could use some players. How about a first and a second, just as a tester? Damn it, didn't mean to do that. Who did I take out of that deal? I don't even know. Right wings? That was Bitten. There we go. First rounder? No. All right. I'm okay with second and thirds. I'm all right with second and thirds. To say I'm intrigued, I hope you're intrigued, but to say that I'm intrigued to see how this all pans out would be an understatement, because I still don't know. This is just, you know, fly-by-night team building. Just doing whatever I can to clean house and try to move on as best I can. Ty Smith is still somebody who has something in the way of value. So I guess we're good for the moment. Okay, so we've cleared out a bunch of roster spots. What do we have for cap space? I suppose I should have looked. 24 million? Roughly. I think we've sent out at least 10, yeah, we've sent out at least 10 million between Dumba and Cale Makar. Again, we look at the approach list. Pretty much everybody is a prospect. Actually, everybody is a prospect aside from those two. And even those two players, I'm going to abuse. You know, those players that you know, the prospects, I'm going to abuse to get players I actually want. I am having to take advantage of the game at every possible turn. The only question is forwards. Do we go for a Tarasenko? Do we go? Maybe not for Patrick Kane at 34 years old. Jonathan Drouin left, which is fine. It's funny to see Charlie Hudon there. Brady Tkachuk. Do we go for Vladimir Tarasenko? He wants 6 years, which is absolutely crazy. But I am crazy enough, in a way, to want to send him an offer. I'd like to use Taylor Hall again, but we've used him quite a bit. And Patrick Kane's 34. Although his offensive category is still just stupid. 75 points. He had 103 the year before. Tarasenko, 87 points. Had 107 the year before. You know, I think for the moment we're okay. I think for the moment we're okay. And the only reason I say that is because if we have Tarasenko, he could very well be the top line. I mean, I don't know if Puljujarvi's staying, so Tarasenko could very well be the top line with Josh Norris and Farabee. I'm not sure how much use we would get out of... Actually, you know what? We might as well just go for it. We might as well just go for it. Not that I want to hand out another... No, I'm not handing out another $10 million deal and crippling this team, just like with what we had with Carey Price. Let's advance day. Let's wait until we start hearing back from some of these prospects. We still have so far to go. Ryan Precht declined. Staples declined. Tennell accepted. Vignetti, Zanetti, Busenius, Hillis, Piernez, Rodin declined. Jorgensen accepted. All right, so we got a decent amount of those prospects. We should be hearing back from Makar and Dumba right about now. Dumba goes to Calgary. Cale Makar accepts, though. So that's promising. At least we got one of them. That was kind of my goal. So let's take a look here at what our defense is shaping up to be. So we'll have probably Hughes and Makar. Could have Nurse and Juleson. We could have Nurse and Juleson as the shutdown pairing. Or really, we could have Juleson and Hughes to let Hughes run wild, and then Nurse and Makar. From there, Jenks might be NHL ready. Potentially. I think Mete and Girard are gone. I think we'll give Jenks the chance, even if he's not actually ready, and he could be on a line with Shattenkirk. That could be the plan here. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Unless we can find a better prospect, a right-handed prospect to be on that third pairing with Jenks. So Mete and Girard are gone. And we can potentially find somebody better. Actually, who else was available as a defenseman? Zadorov, that's right. We were talking about guys like Makoshin, Schmaltz. I mean, I guess I'd rather have Shattenkirk there, even though he's regressing. So I think we pretty much actually did Tarasenko sign? No, shit, I didn't want to go to proposed trade. Did Tarasenko sign? I think he did. Just wanted to see if he actually, yeah, oh yeah, everybody's gone. Jonathan Drouin's still there, though. You thought you were going to be a big fish, didn't you, buddy? And yet there you are, still technically unemployed. Maybe you should have stayed. Maybe you should have signed. You're probably going to regret not. Especially when I'm winning a cup. All right, so Tennell accepted. Once again, he is going to be somebody that I use to acquire a big-time prospect. So we already know who's on Anaheim. How about Arizona? Again, Strome, Keller, they're going to be too expensive to get. Tamora, Lindros, Chikrin, even Riopel, I think is too expensive to get. Arizona, they do have some decent quality players. They have Hall, who's a 70. Very similar to Bachman. Somebody like Riopel, I don't know if we can get. He has a good shot. Put up 49 points last year. Chikrin's there, Lindros. All right, we'll keep Arizona in mind. The Bruins have Jennings, no thank you. There we go. The Ling and Franzen, not to mention Bolesky. 83 overall at 20 years old. I just don't know how we're going to be able to acquire most of these players. Especially, too, because the teams don't want to trade them. Oh, man, that's where it becomes difficult. As we witnessed with Hartford, it can become difficult to acquire certain players depending on that price. So, again, Clayton Keller is going to be way, way too expensive. God damn it, I'm sorry for the noise of me moving around. Oh, this damn thing. All right, so Tamora might work. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know if I can pull it off to acquire him. I mean, he would more than likely... I mean, he would force somebody. He would force Darnell Nurse out of the team. And needless to say, I'm okay with that at this point. At this point, I'm all right with that. Lindros, no thank you. Chikrin, we've used him in series past, so I won't go after him. We have Riopel, who might also be worth acquiring. 86 overall, 21 years old, elite. Keep track of that. Everybody else, I'm not overly impressed. Hall could be a decent pickup, though. Urho Vakanainen turned into a decent player. Jordan Hall. I guess I'll write his name down. I guess he's not the ideal target, that's for sure. But maybe he could be somebody we look to get. All right, Boston. You have Jennings, no thank you, but we have Ling, who will absolutely mark down here. 79 overall at 18 years old. That's the type of high caliber player we'd love to get. The question is, can we afford to get said player? We also have Franzen on the Bruins, 76 overall at 19. Again, elite potential. Then we have Bolesky. My God, can you see the process? Can you see the process that I have to go through here? Like, this is what I did with Hartford, except I did it off screen. I feel, in a way, I feel bad, but again, in a way, I know some people prefer to be like, hey, what's the full kind of way that you sit here and build your teams? This is how. Painstakingly slow progress, searching through every damn team and trying to find the players that fit. Not that easy. Alex Nylander, Middlestat, nah. No thank you, Calgary. They have a Lucic, 85 overall, 20 years old, Patrick Lucic. I mean, damn. Damn. Let's mark your name down. At an 85 overall, 20 years old, which is absolutely ridiculous. They also signed Dumba, so Jesus, my God, the Calgary defense. Are you kidding me? How the hell did they pull that off? Morale-wise, if that team survives, I am going to riot because it would never survive. Never. If I were to have that defense, too many people would complain. 72 overall, 20 years old. We'll pass on the opportunity to sign him or to trade for him. Smoskowitz isn't that great. Manning's not that great. Columbus has Rantanen. They have Simmons, and they want to trade him. Simmons is a target right now. Literally right now. I'm not even going to bother looking after anybody else. Glebov's not good enough. Simmons, an immediate target. He's in the CHL. What's his first name? Jonas Simmons. 19 years old, 73 overall, 24th overall selection. We're going for him. Absolutely. And we are going to try and use the goalie that we just signed, which is a little bit cheap, but I'm doing what I got to do. Actually, I'm going to pretty much just use as many of these goalies as I can. Actually, oh man, are you kidding? They'd have too many goalies? What do they have? Is there anybody here? I mean, Kiprasov, I could use him as a backup this season. Antti Kiprasov, I could even end up trading him. I know I don't want to get in trouble for, immediately trading players, but hopefully I can get away with just a warning and not have the game want to butcher me alive. So we're just going to send them nothing but goalies to try and get Simmons and Kiprasov. They want to trade the two as well, so that is going to help. I want to see if I can get a first, second, and a third back. That might be too much. That might be too little. How about two firsts and a second? What do you say to that, Colorado? Didn't meet. How about two firsts? Might have been able to tack on a third, but there you go. We lose a little bit of morale for immediately moving that goaltender, but we have a blockbuster deal done as we acquire Simmons. Jonas Simmons, 73 overall at 19 years old. A legitimate prospect for this team. He'll spend the year down in junior. Columbus. Unfortunately, we go straight into a disappointment. They don't have anybody that I want. Sorry, I had to take a swig of Arnold Palmerman. It's been an hour of straight talking. What can you expect? Beauregard, 69 overall. That's a bit too low. I'm not going to focus on anybody else, really, other than the high-end talent. Peltier, holy God. 88 overall at 22. I think I need to change my outlook, though, of how high of a caliber of prospect I can really afford to get. We don't have any other really solid goalies. I mean, Cassian's still going to be moved, as is Silverthorne. On defense, there's no big-time names to move. And for forwards, we have Max Pacioretty. We have DeMaio, Pugliarvi if I decide to move him, and Hillis. So I have to be very selective. And it might be very difficult to pull these deals off, but I would say writing Peltier's name down might not be a mistake. So I'm going to write his name down for the hell of it. It would be very difficult to get him. Very difficult. You have Hartnell. They have two different Hartnells. My God. So we have Hartnell number 1, who is a 72 at 18. And then Hartnell number 1 was a 72. And then Hartnell number 2 is an 80 at 20 years old. They have Finger, who's an 82 at 18. Are you kidding me? The Detroit Red Wings, ladies and gentlemen. God damn, talk about the next generation of dominant teams. And even Krestanovich, a 78 at 21. is a decent enough prospect. So I listed down all of those players. We're going to avoid Philip Zadina just because we've used him in other series. So just between the first couple of teams here, it's looking pretty crazy. Skinner's a 71. We'll pass. Florida, they're getting rid of Domi. No, thank you. Yeah, they don't have anybody that I want. LA definitely doesn't have anybody that I want. Minnesota, nobody there. John Tavares, you scumbag. Sweeney, remember that player Nashville got? 95 overall now at 22 years old. Sean Sweeney. Good Lord. What a monster. Also, Hakana, 7th round selection, turned into an 83. Low elites can actually turn into monsters occasionally. Nico Hischier, McLeod, nope, nobody there. Islanders, Svechnikov, we've used him plenty of times in the series. They do have Glennie, though. Glennie on the New York Islanders is an 81 overall at 21 years old. He is really the only target on that team. The Rangers have Bancroft. He's 23, though. If he was like 21 or 20, my God. Yeah, we'd jump at the chance to get him. Greening on Ottawa. Again, don't know if we can pull that off. But it's an idea. 88 overall at 21 years old. They also have Ruchin, another fine target for our team. 77 overall at 18. Only 3 defensemen listed. That is concerning. But it does make my job easier for who to target. Byron, not good enough. Nolan Patrick, we're going to avoid. Pittsburgh with Sprong. Yeah, the Penguins are struggling. Atkinson, there's no chance in hell. I'm talking Vince McMahon style. No chance in hell that we pick up Atkinson. But I'll at least write his name down. There is Olczyk, 70 overall at 20 years old. It's a little bit too low, I think. I wrote down a couple of other guys with that same overall earlier at the same age. That's a little bit too low. Seeing other players like Legacy, for example. On the St. Louis Blues, 75 overall at 19 years old. Knight's a bit too low. Negrin is also fairly good, I got to admit. 82 overall at 19. And Whitfield, man, the St. Louis Blues. We could do some good business here, St. Louis. You just got to be willing. 83 and 21. Let's keep looking. Tampa, we already pulled off a blockbuster with. They have nobody else. Toronto has Mitch Marner. No thank you. Vancouver doesn't have anybody, surprisingly. Vegas. Had a feeling Vegas would be sitting on a gold mine of prospects. They have Cunning. Cunning. Great name. And, of course, they just drafted Yoshi as well. 88 overall at 20 years old. Oh, my God. They also have Yoshi. 81 and 18. You have Blacker, who's a 70 at 18. I'm okay with that. That's a little bit better, as opposed to being 20. So again, a 70 and 18 years old. Briere's not going to be on our team. Washington, shit, they have good prospects too. I have written down quite a few names, I have to admit, but we're gonna make this work. So they have Pushkarev, 87 and 20. The unfortunate thing, I was hoping some of these guys would be, on the trade block, essentially. They are not, and that is a problem. That's why I jumped at the chance to get that defenseman. Hughes is also available on Washington. My decision is fairly easy when it comes to what defenseman I'm acquiring. There are very few defensemen that fit the bill of what we need right now. Winnipeg, thankfully, they don't have anybody that we want. So Tamora on Arizona, Franzen on Boston, or Lucic on Calgary. So Tamora has unreal value. Franzen is a little bit weaker. Hold on, let's get Franzen back, and then on Calgary. Lucic is the third one. I'd say that's about the same. So again, 76 at 19, 85 at 20. I don't think we have what it takes to get Tamora, as much as I'd love to acquire him. But I'm thinking that Patrick Lucic would be a very solid acquisition. So that is going to be my target from the Calgary Flames. And I'd love to add to their current cap issues. Darnell Nurse needs to go back the other way. So right now the defense is shaping up to be more than likely... Makar's a righty, correct? Yes, he is. So I'm thinking maybe Hughes and Juleson. Hughes and Juleson. We'll have Lucic and Makar. Shattenkirk, potentially. This third pairing could definitely change. Shattenkirk with Mete. And Sam Girard's out. That third pairing could definitely change. I could just go out and acquire somebody better. Shattenkirk has 2 years left on his deal, but he's still capable. And I don't really think... Actually, that's right. No, that's right. We're going to go with Jenks, not Mete. I stand corrected. Unless... I mean, I wasn't really looking for any... Like, there weren't any other great prospects. Franzen's the only other guy. Like, Franzen is the only other player that I'd consider. I think he's a lefty, though. It's not tremendously important, but in a way it kind of is. Oh, Jared Franzen's a righty. I need to get both of them. I need to get both of them, which means Shattenkirk is gone, too. We'd have Jenks and Franzen as our third pairing. I need to try and get Lucic and Franzen, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I'm not sure if I can do it. But damn it, we're going to try. We're going to go down swinging. So you know what? I'm not going to be able to get them directly just yet. Let's pick farm. Let's get to work. We're going to have to pick farm as much as we can. So, yeah, let's go with Cassian and Silverthorne. They're going to be gone. Kiprusoff can stay. DiPietro will probably be our backup this year until we have to make a different move. Carolina's looking for goaltending. They're looking to trade picks as well. Can we get a first rounder out of this? It might actually be possible. How about a first, fourth, and a sixth? Or just a fourth. That works too, EA. All right, that's too much. Or too little. Rule not too much, actually. First and a seventh. Just the first and the fifth. There we go. All right, so deal number one is made with Carolina. I told you this was going to be a marathon. So for now, our goaltending's fine. We need 2 other players signed, and they just got to be AHL level goalies. I might make them worse than Kiprusoff. I don't know. I did just acquire Kiprusoff. I don't know if I want to necessarily risk with him making another deal. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm just going to move him. I'm going to risk it. Because we're going to get all of our trading done right here. Free agent-wise, it could fuck us over in the future. Let's just go for it. Also, hashtag not advertiser friendly, just because I swore, I think once in this episode, but unless BS counts as a swear. Anyway, he's gone. DiPietro, he's gone too. Screw it. We'll just sign 4 prospects off the free agent list. So Samuel Girard's gone, Mete's gone, Ty Smith is gone. Where can we send you all? How about Chicago? Send you out to the Western Conference to just not have to deal with you. They don't want to move their picks. That's a bit of a problem. Colorado, we've already taken your picks. Columbus, they want to move their picks. Beautiful. Beautiful. They'd have too many goalies, though. What if I take out DiPietro? Damn you, Columbus. Oh, Columbus, you're killing me. You're killing me. Who else can we get a deal here? Who else can we get a deal done with here? Nope. 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 Maybe. Nope. All right, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. We'll make this work. Nope. Nope. Well, actually, Minnesota or Nashville? Minnesota doesn't want to trade their first. Nashville doesn't have their first, but you know what? Let's try to be a little bit creative here, Nashville. I'm all right with that if you're all right with that, and you're all right with that. Cool. Thank you very much for the first-round pick next year. I thank you, as we have 4 first-round picks in this upcoming draft already. You guys said rebuild. Well, here you go. I don't have faith in Lindsay to progress. I don't have faith in Piernes to progress. We also just signed Piernes, so I can't wait to take the hit for trading him. Winquist and Salo, also 2 players I prefer to get rid of. We're going to have no prospects. We're just going to have to sign a ton of veterans to fill out the AHL lineup. This is as rebuild gets, while still being somewhat competitive because of guys like Spike Rowe. Or Spike Rowe. I'm confusing the names. It's Spike Richmond. I'll get used to it. Spike Rowe is in Hartford, for those of you who don't know. If you're not caught up to date on that series, you should be. It's a good one. That's right, Shattenkirk's got to go too. So we'll look to trade these 5 and hopefully get a really strong return for this amount of prospects. I need a team that's willing to give up a lot. I don't think New Jersey will be it. You know what? I felt like that had a chance to go through, though. New Jersey, I feel like you're being a bit stingy. It's because they don't want to trade the pick. Whoops! Didn't mean to get rid of him. All right, so when it comes down to, trading for picks where the teams don't want to get rid of them, it's just not worth it. Not in the slightest. All right. You're not going to work out. Neither New York team's going to work out. Philly. Let's talk, Philly. Let's talk. You'd have too many skaters. Never mind. Let's not talk. Pittsburgh, though. Let's not talk either. Well, no, let's not talk. Have to sneeze. Trying to fight it off. Oh, couldn't fight it off. Damn it. That's weakness. I'm sorry. At this, typically, I would edit out a sneeze. This video is going to be so long, though. By the time I get to this point, when I'm watching this all back, I'm going to forget all about it anyway. That went through. We just acquired a bunch of picks from San Jose to make that happen. So our goaltending is officially cleared out. Our defense is officially cleared out. We're just waiting for the arrival. Although we will be trading Darnell Nurse as well. You know what? I'll just trade him now. We'll look to get rid of Darnell Nurse here. See if we can send him out to St. Louis, maybe. I think I tried to make a deal with St. Louis already, didn't I? Yeah, they don't want to trade their picks. Who wants a nice Darnell Nurse? Decent enough defenseman. I'll trade him to Toronto. That'll never come back to haunt me. Right? I'm just desperate to get the deal done. Do you like the looks of that better, Toronto? No, you don't. How about now? There you go. Darnell, have fun in Toronto. You don't have to move too far. But you, sir, are gone. So again, those are 4 of our defensemen. We're just missing Franzen and Lucic, which hopefully we can get that deal to go through. We're going to use Hillis and DeMaio to try and make that happen. All right, so we've acquired some extra picks. Let's make our move. Let's go talk first to the Boston Bruins about their defenseman. What's his name? Jared Franzen. Thought it would have been like Johan or something like that. No, it's Jared. Of course it's Jared. To do this, let's use Hillis. Straight up? No. Okay, worth a shot. That's the problem. They don't want to trade him. Let's tack on Kravchenko to this deal. We'll safety net it with a 3rd round pick just to see if that closes the gap. Value still isn't sufficient. Let's go with a 5th and a 7th round selection as well. No, because they don't want to trade him. All right, so Kravchenko still isn't enough to push that over the edge. Right wings. I'm not going to trade Gallagher here. I'm going to have to trade Gallagher, though, guys. We're moving on. We are moving on. We're not going to use DeMaio here. Jaskalainen's getting paid way more than he deserves, but he could be a featured player on this team. LaCosta, though, won't be whatsoever, so we can look to get rid of him as well. Also, the thought, actually, you know what? We're struggling so much just to acquire this one guy. I shouldn't say there's a chance that we can get Ling. Yeah, we're struggling to get Franzen as it is. It's still not going through. I told you guys, it's going to be expensive to get these players. I'm not sure how I'm going to pull it off. When it comes to our offense, I don't know what the team's going to look like. Let's add Nichushkin to this deal as well. This is fairly ridiculous, although again, these prospects really don't have much value whatsoever, despite all being low elite. Third round pick, is that enough? Still no. How about straight up? Still no. Whew. This is just for one of them. This is just for one of the two defensemen that I want. Let's throw the other low elite, Viggetti, medium elite Hillis, and 4 low elites just to try and get Franzen. This is incredible. How about a third and a sixth? What do you say? Still no? Just the third? Can we get any picks back in this deal? How about a fifth and a seventh? Is that enough? Yes, it is. We had to give up a small fortune to get him. Franzen has been acquired. Beautifully done. Not quite beautifully done. That was a disaster. Let's go talk to Calgary. We're at least getting our other defenseman, that being Lucic. We're going after Lucic next. This video is going to be the longest video on my channel in a very, very long time. DeMaio is the next player we have to move out. Straight up, is it enough? No, of course it's not, but it was worth a try. I'm alright with sending Gallagher out west. This might be the time to use Gallagher. I'm alright with getting rid of him here. Let's try a fourth and a sixth, just to safety net it a little bit. Sweeten it just a touch. Just a fourth? Alright, but we're close. Not that I wanted to get rid of Gallagher, but we know that we're sending him to a good team. Fifth and a seventh, there you go. The deal is done. Patrick Lucic has been acquired. Brendan Gallagher is gone. As we have our defense set in stone. That's our team right there. Those are the 6. Lucic with Makar, Hughes, and Juleson, Jenks, and Franzen as the third pairing. And of course, the hope is if Franzen replaces Juleson, cool, we acquire picks back and hopefully start that vicious cycle. For right wings, we're fine. Although I'm thinking Kasper, again, if I want to trade Puljujarvi or Kapanen, that's a different story. I mean, they're still young players. But how crazy do we want to be about this? As if this hasn't been crazy enough. I need to decide right now what forwards are a part of this team. So let's do that. Isaac's a better right wing, so we'll consider him the top line right wing for the moment. Unless we keep Puljujarvi. Unless, actually, is he a third line guy? He is. So let's say that we're keeping, actually, is Kapanen still a first line? No, Kapanen's not happy whatsoever. Kapanen's going. We're keeping Puljujarvi. Kapanen, I'm just going to mark his name down really quick. He is on his way out. So Puljujarvi stays. Patches goes. Unfortunately, our captain's leaving us. Hopefully, we can send him to a winner. Isaac stays. Josh Norris stays. Kapanen's gone. Jääskeläinen can stay, I suppose. I don't really know what we're really going to get for him anyway. Farabee can stay. Philip Deneau, he has no value whatsoever. Might as well stay as our third line guy. We have Garlock for the third line. Murray Highnote is going to be on this team. And Kip Conklin will be on this team. And from there, we could sign whoever. So Kapanen and Pacioretty, at the very least, are going. Oh, damn. So let me double check here. So Puljujarvi is a first-line player. Isaac is a third-line player. Josh Norris is a second-line guy. Kapanen doesn't matter. Jääskeläinen is a third-line player. Farabee is a third-line player. Philip Deneau, third-line player. Garlock We have High Note as a 4th and Conklin as a 4th. So my thought process there is to see how many spots we have in the top 9, and we have 2. So we have one third line spot, or one top 9 spot left. So we have one top 9 spot left and one 4th line spot left. That's how we have to judge it, which means we're going to go out and try to acquire really the best player possible. That might be Peltier on Detroit at an 88. There was also Greening as an 88. Atkinson in San Jose was an 88. He was 22. Greening was 21. Peltier was 22. Unfortunately, Greening in Ottawa. Nope, never mind. Cunning in Vegas. 88 overall, 20 years old. He's our target. He is our target. Cunning. Let's find out what his let's at least find out what his first name is here, shall we? Kirk Cunning, former 2nd overall selection. Might not be the best center. Definitely has a spot in the top 9 for us, though. He is our target, no doubt. And that is where we'll look to send Max Pacioretty. That is where we will look to send Kasperi Kapanen, especially because they can afford it. And we're not even close to getting this deal done, but we'll safety net it with a 3rd round pick. Yeah, not even close. Not even close, but what in addition to this team Cunning could be. So let's see, who else can we use here? I'm thinking of keeping Puljujarvi for now. We have High Note, Conklin, Bolig, 69 overall, 21 years old. I'll tack on Bolig to this. I don't know if he'll make it, so I'm willing to get rid of him to get a sure thing. 2nd round pick would be way too much, I'm sure. Just a bit low, actually. So Cunning in a 2nd for Pacioretty, Kapanen, and Bolig. We'll throw the 2 7th round picks in there. Is that enough? Not quite. Man, what a deal this is going to be. We'll throw in our 6th round pick. Is that enough? Still not quite. Let's throw in the 5th round pick. Is that enough? Still no. All right, let's take out the 7th. Let's go a 5th and a 6th. Is that good enough? Nope. Let's keep trying. 2 5th round picks. Again, it's Pacioretty, Kapanen, Bolig for Cunning, and picks involved as well. Unfortunately, it might be decent, relatively decent sized picks. We'll go for a 4th and a 5th. Still no. I'll give up Nashville's 3rd and a 5th round from Calgary. Is that enough? Wow, man, extortionists. They're doing whatever they can. There we go. The deal is done. Kirk Cunning, welcome to Montreal. We acquire him from the Vegas Golden Knights. And at the moment, if we decide that Puljujarvi's a featured player here, which you could argue he still is, our offense is set with the exception of acquiring a 4th line caliber player, which from the looks of it could be Ruchin in Ottawa, Legacy in St. Louis, or Hughes in Washington. But Hughes is 21, Legacy is 19, Ruchin is 18. Ruchin's the target from Ottawa. Let's go talk to the Sens. Not that I like trading to division rivals. Let's go talk to the Sens. There he is, 77 overall at 18 years old. Jeffrey Ruchin, former 3rd overall selection. Good to play at the NHL level. Well, let's do this. He is our final target, and from there, we're pretty much just going to have to sign whatever players we can off the free agent list to fill out the AHL. We'll use Zanetti in this deal. We'll use Jorgensen. Jaskalainen can stay. Simmons, of course, is still a good pickup for us. We have Conklin. Garlock is in the lineup. Centers. High Note's still good. Matthew we're going to get rid of. Busenius we're going to get rid of. Semin we're going to get rid of. So we'll try to acquire Ruchin and picks to make this happen. They don't want to give up a 2nd, or they don't want to give up a 1st rounder. But what about a 2nd and 2/3? Still no. How about just a 2nd and a 3rd? Just the 2nd? No. I'm not surprised. Hopefully, though, there's a way to make this happen. 2 3rd round picks? Just the 3rd? Straight up. No. Okay. That's a bit of a problem. Let's take Semin out of the deal. And we'll go... What do we want to do here? Second rounder from Colorado, since we have plenty of them? Still no. All right, how the hell do we want to do this? What's that last piece we could use to get this deal done? And we have a bunch of these prospects. You know what? I have so many prospects. Let's just see what we can do here as far as value goes. I mean, look at all of the picks that we have. We own half of the second round. First round, let's use Toronto's first. God damn, yeah, look at the value. That's crazy. We'll use the Toronto first. And for forwards, Matthews, Zanetti, Bucenius, and Jorgensen. Is that enough? No, it isn't. So we'll take one out. We'll go for another first round selection. Let's go for Tampa's. Is that enough? We're going to have to use a valuable first round pick to pull this off, but that's okay. That's okay. We have our own. We have San Jose's. Let's use Carolina's. It's slightly above value. Maybe that'll be enough. Potentially Matthews, Zanetti, Bucenius, and Jorgensen. Is that enough? Damn. It's all right. It's worth it. It is worth it. I'm not sure how long Jorgensen will stay there, but that's okay. We want to create that competition within the, the NHL 12. So San Jose and Carolina are 12 forwards, of course, at the NHL level. We have those two valuable first-round picks. Not the most valuable. Certainly not looking to give up our own pick here. But we're still looking okay. Matthews, Zanetti, and Bucenius. Is that enough? God damn. I mean, he's not a necessity. I could go out and just sign a fourth-line guy off the free agent list. I could do that. And then just use these prospects to acquire whatever picks I can. And to be honest, I think that's what I'm going to do. Damn. Yeah, he was... Ruchin's perfect. But it's not going to work because his value is too high. So let me get rid of the last couple of prospects here. I thought I selected 5 of them. I thought I reselected somebody after I accidentally selected Farabee. It's Semin, and there we go. Where can we send them? Ottawa listed as a rebuilder. We just need to find a team that is willing to move first-round selections. That includes Philadelphia. Will that go through? A bunch of picks for a bunch of prospects who are never going to pan out. Thank you very much, Philly. I wish you nothing but horrible luck. We only have 18 players signed. I'm just throwing that out there. Without a doubt, the fewest players I think I've ever had on a team at one time outside of a Draft to Glory series. Please excuse the paper, but man, if you're still with me here, as we're an hour and a half into this, I don't think a bit of noise from paper is going to bother you that much. Let's go ahead and move up draft picks if we can. Let's look to talk to Ottawa here. Can we get probably not a second round pick. I'm just wishful thinking. I'm losing my mind. Obviously, I know that was never going to go through. Let's get a 4th rounder this year and a 5th rounder next year. You would think that would go through, but apparently not. How about a 4th rounder this year and a 6th round pick next year? Still no. Just a 4th? Works for me. Just to move up. And now we have all of these picks to use throughout the regular season as they hopefully gain more value. We get to go back to our short list of prospects and we'll strike again. That is the current plan. So for goaltenders, we have Spike Richmond. That's it. For defense, let's take a look here. For defense, again, we have, as we're getting the depth chart written out, we have Franzen. We have Lucic. We signed Cale Makar. We have Quentin Hughes. Still, I told you this team was going to change. I told you this franchise was going to change. And here we are. The unfortunate thing is that I can hear certain construction workers outside So there is now a little bit of pressure to finish this episode quickly to avoid just horrific background noise. But again, at this point, I have no choice but to just keep this going. Jonas is, I think, technically going to be junior. So I'm all right with not having him listed. We'll have Murray Highnote as a center. Conklin will still be on the team. We'll have Preston Garlock as well on the left side. Joel Farabee is going to be on the left. Samu Jaskalainen is there. We still have Philip Deneau. So we need a... So let's see here, actually. We are still going to need a player for the top 9. So, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we're still going to need one player for the top 9. And a player for the 4th line. So we need a 4th line left wing and another right wing for this team. Centers were good, though. And again, I don't think Simmons... Actually, Simmons might be AHL eligible at this point. So we'll go ahead and write him down as the first AHL, technically right wing is where I'd prefer to play him. So let's go ahead and sign all of the free agents that we can as we prepare to wrap up this episode, hopefully. We got $44 million to spend, by the way. So goaltenders. We need a backup. We're looking at Hutchinson or Condon as the backup this season. Who did better last year? 889 for Hutchinson. That's horrific. God damn it, EA. I hit over. Thank you. Mike Condon is slightly better. He will come back to Montreal for this season. We'll offer him $2 million to hopefully be that guy. Down in the AHL, Jordan Binnington is potentially a starter. Jordan Binnington, I could have brought Charlie Lindgren back, and it especially would have been a cool story with what's going on in real life, but we'll pass on that. Binnington, Nell, or Laurent Brossoit. Might as well check. 934 at the AHL level. Jordan Binnington, you already win. You already win. Let's sign you up for 1 year, except you're looking for a one-way deal. Never mind. That hurts. Nell also wants a one-way. Brossoit wants a one-way. Well, shit, let's sort by 2 ways then to see who's not going to be a dick. And Joseph Wall, apparently, is not going to be a dick. So, Binnington, I'm sorry, you're gone. Joseph Wall will be the 3rd option at goaltender this year. The backup will actually be Niilo Hallinen still. We'll bring him back for the rest of the year. And then the 5th option, let's look for a familiar name. Skapski Lagacé is there. Billy Husso, Jack Campbell, Anton Bibeau. I believe that's Chet Pickard, not Calvin. Indeed it is. Scott Wedgwood, Halverson, Phoenix Copley. We have a Stark, Nico Stark, Ken Appleby. I'm just looking for a familiar and fun name. Alex Lyon. There we go. From Bruins series fame, we'll bring back Alex Lyon as the 5th string goaltender. AHL level now. AHL level. I'd still prefer to bring in 2 ways here. You know, players who are, we can actually call up and send down without concern. The problem is we're not going to get amazing players, but that's okay. We will try to bring in Mark Barberio. Of course, has been with the Montreal franchise in the past. He might not sign. I actually don't think he'll sign for us. So, never mind. Kevin Fitzgerald, I believe it is. Again, might not sign. You guys are looking for too much money. Danielson. Is he an RFA? He is. God damn it. I believe that's Carl Neal. Would be an entry-level deal, so no thank you. Jones would not be an entry-level deal. Again, he still might be asking for too much. Frankie Corrado Why are they asking for 975 when that's not the number that you can sign them to? That is so stupid. I'm just looking to sign whoever I can. There we go. This guy, McKinnon. Are you a lefty or a righty? You're a righty. Beautiful. Well, guess what? Welcome. Welcome to the Laval Rocket. Svedberg can sign with us. Good, good. He is a lefty. Hopefully welcome to the Laval Rocket. What do we have here? Colton White. Is he willing to accept the deal that we need from him? Yes, he is. And again, he was a lefty. Welcome to the team, Colton. Aaronen, are you willing to accept that deal? Yes, you are. And again, you were a righty. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We're looking good, guys. This is how I build my teams. Oh my god, slow and steady. Alright, Vinio gets to sign as well. Hopefully everybody accepts. Andre Padan is a lefty and is willing to accept. Alright, we need 2 more. Maybe 3. Ruinen, restricted free agent, so no thank you. Berglund. Berglund is a righty. Entry-level deal, though, so no thank you. At this point, I'm just going to look for names that I'd actually prefer to sign. Tim Heed, Oesterle. Is there anybody interesting at this point? Because we have the top 6 defensemen. Duncan Siemens, Brandon De Jong, Dylan Belugis, Keaton Ellerby, Christian Juice, Linus Arneson, Ryan Graves. You know what? I really liked Ryan Graves in the Manhattan Project for the short amount of time we got to use him. Let's sign him up as a depth defenseman. Leslie Cedarholm, Ramage, Kevin, apparently that's Churchman from my understanding and what I've been told. Lucas Bankston, Joe Hicketts. Let's go ahead and sign Joe Hicketts. He's a lefty. That's okay though. We'll sign him up for 1 year. He'll be that extra depth option. I need a righty. 1 more right-handed defenseman. Brandon Gormley? Nope. Matt Grzelcyk? No, he's a lefty. Damn. Damn. Colby Roback, Riley Bruce. I just thought of somebody. I don't know if they'll be there, but I thought of them. You guys have probably, or at least some of you have probably been screaming, find the man. Find the man. But the question is the man there? And the problem is, the man's a lefty. But I could still sign him as a depth defenseman. Is he there? The answer is, I believe no. Oh my god, he's a lefty, but we'll sign him. We have to sign him. And also, did I see Andrew Smith there? Did I? I hope I didn't see Andrew Smith there, because that would honestly cause a problem. That's who it is, though. All right. Oh, entry-level deal. I'll do it. Screw it. All in good fun. So, we are going to end up signing 1 too many defensemen. Yeah, we're going to have 1 too many defensemen, and we're not going to have enough righties, unfortunately. But that's okay. We'll be fine. The lefty-righty dynamic is more important for the NHL level. Speaking of which, again, we still need a 3rd-line caliber player, and we need a 4th-line player. Well, actually, it doesn't even have to be 3rd line. It could just be top 6. We could look to bring Jonathan Drouin back, although he has no offers. We could look to bring back... Oh, he has 3 offers, is what I meant. I was looking at Charlie Houdon, who has no offers. So again, the 3rd line could be Dano, Jaskalainen, maybe Sizek. So the safe bet would be to not bring in Jonathan Drouin, but we're gonna have cap trouble, and for that reason, I'm gonna try to cheese it with Jonathan Drouin, which some people might not be happy about. But I got to do what I have to do to make sure that we at least are up towards the cap, which is not looking all that likely as it currently stands. So we're going to go $15 million this season for Jonathan Drouin. And then when it comes to another fourth-line player, we need a left wing. We need a fourth-line left wing. Although, we really should have signed a right wing there. Rather than getting Drouin. Maybe we can move somebody over. We can just move Cunning over, I think. So we need a fourth-line left wing. Who is that going to be? Carl Hagelin is a third liner. That's unfortunate. Antoine Roussel, Kirby Reichel is a third liner. Freddie Gauthier, Jordan Martinook. Oh, let's see. Graham Knott. Jake DeBrusk, Austin Watson, but he's a righty. That's unfortunate. Brendan Lemieux, Jamel Smith. Giovanni Smith. Right. Emile Poirier? I mean, we've had success with Poirier on our teams in the past. Brandon Dubinsky, Scott Lawton, Jordan Greenway. Good old Zach Cassian, Paul Bittner, Nick Cardiles. All right. I think we'll just go for kind of best overall. You know what? Let's go for Antoine Roussel. Why not? Why not? And funny enough, he's about to get paid, much like Jonathan Drouin, to bring us closer to the cap floor. Even then, this might actually not be enough, and we still might have a bit of cap trouble. We'll see. For two ways, just so that we can freely call people up and send them down, we can have Lance Boma? Don't know. We'll try to sign him, though. Never mind, he'll be too much. We're going to run into that problem. I was going to say trouble. I was going to say trouble and problem, and it came out troublem and problem. Figure that one out. Mark McNeil. Hey, Mark McNeil. Thank you very much, buddy, for making this easy on me. And you're a center. Lovely. Lovely. Just what we needed. Matthias Fromm. Entry-level deal, so we'll pass. I don't want to get stuck with them. Tanner Caro is an option. Not much of a center. We'll consider him a left wing. Adam Ruzicka, not an entry-level deal, but a restricted free agent. We have Heinz, I don't know. We'll look to sign him up, though. He's a righty. Not much of a center either. I am so intrigued to see how the Laval Rocket will do next season. We'll sign Chizowski up for the season. Again, not much of a center. Antoine Morand is willing to sign, hopefully. What are you? Not much of a center again, but we might not have much of an option, really, if you think about it. We'll list him as a left wing. Glenn Gaudin would be entry-level deal. Dunkley is an RFA. Ojamaki. Let's see if we can sign him up. Again, a right wing. So we continue to build this team, damn it. Every slow, painful step of the way, we're going to make it to the end. I promise. People said they liked marathons. I'm putting that statement to the test. Let's see. Mustonen. Yeah, we can sign him too. I guess, signing a bunch of Finnish players that end up on the list. Oh, let's see. So we really need now half-decent centers, and Milos Roman is one of them. All right, that works. It's our second center. We need centers and right wings. Antila, no. Agostino, no. Alan Quine, sure. Alan Quine works. Sign him up. Yanni Gourdet does not work. JC Lepon is a perfect fit. How is this team going to do? Like, this is just going to be like your stereotypical AHL team. We have Lorentz as a center. Absolutely no prospects. What a team the Laval Rocket are going to be. Andrew Agazzino is a center depth option. So we just need one more right wing, and then we're going to see how many contracts we're up to. And Stefan Noesen is the guy. Noesen, and he was with Montreal, if I'm not mistaken. So there we go. Now we play the waiting game to see who accepts and who doesn't. So that should be fun. Let's just hit sim the next season. So Jonathan Drouin is here. Rumble, Smith, they are here. Caro, Roussel, Noesen, Quine, Condon, Hicketts. Basically, did anybody decline? That is what I'm intrigued by. I doubt it. We signed a lot of players from the same Finnish team, apparently, as well. I don't think anybody declined. What are we up to contract-wise? I should stop simulation here. I forgot that I hit sim the next season. This is going to be weird. We're back up to hopefuls, which is nice. We haven't set up the team the way that we wanted, but we are back up to hopefuls. We have $11 million in cap space, so I should be fine. 48 contracts, we're golden. I had that one extra contract spot if we needed it to go out and sign another big player, just to a big-time contract. We're good. We are good. This team is, with the exception of the extra signing of Andrew Smith, this team was very meticulously built to make sure that we have the proper amount of depth at both the NHL and the AHL level. And you could argue we still have the potential to be competitive this year. Funny enough, though, that we end up bringing Jonathan Drouin back on a $15 million contract. Antoine Roussel as well. I don't even know if we'll name a captain. I mean, it's just crazy. Carey Price is gone. Max Pacioretty is gone. Gallagher. All of these players, they are gone. It's just kind of setting in, like, the magnitude of this episode, which is almost a 2-hour marathon, which is ungodly. I mean, I didn't think I'd put up another one of these marathons. I could break it up into 2 parts. People will watch it at their own leisure. If not, they'll just be like, okay, screw it. I'm going to skip this. I'll watch the next episode where he has the team set up. I fully expect some people to do that. So the goaltending is good to go. Our defense is good to go. That worked out pretty much perfectly. And our forwards are just about set. We got to send these 2 down. Otherwise, it's good to go. And Simmons is there, so I'm glad I factored him in. So let's take a look here at the NHL level. Cunning's up to an 89. We'll put Drouin up there. Anybody who is second line? Just Norris. Although Sizek will probably get there. So I could put him on the right, and we could go Farabee, Norris, Sizek. Third line can be Garlock, Jääskeläinen, Conklin. Conklin actually improved. I didn't think he would. Murray Heinout also improved. I didn't think he would. I was kind of hoping Conklin and Heinout were still going to be 4th liners. That's a problem. That's a pretty big problem. We can see how well we can manage it. But again, the big issue is Jääskeläinen deserves the chance. Garlock deserves the chance. How do I want to handle this? How do I want to handle this? I mean, really, I think we're good. Let me know what you guys think. Do we, as far as the 4th line goes, what do we do? Do we trade Philip Deneau and somebody else to make room for, I mean, for example, do we trade Jääskeläinen? Some of you might be saying, put him on the top line over Farabee. I don't agree. He's better defensively and better physically. Offensively, it's Farabee. I'm not doing that. The only way Jääskeläinen stays is if you guys agree that he's a better option on the 3rd line than Garlock or Conklin. We could just keep the team the same, the way it is right now, and just try to keep Heinout and Deneau happy. But are we getting the most out of Murray Heinout if he's on the 4th line? No, we're not. So, based on this team, I mean, the right option might be Garlock, Heinout, and Conklin, trade Jääskeläinen and Deneau, and bring in 2 random 4th liners to play with Antoine Roussel. That might be the best way to go about things. But I'll leave that to you guys. That's your reward if you've made it to this point. Let me know what you would do for the fourth line. But I think for the most part, we're locked in. Yeah, I mean, for me right now, basically it's convinced me not to trade Jääskeläinen and Phillip Danault. You know my love for Phillip Danault, but I just don't think he's a fit anymore. Funny enough, our top line and really even our second line is still very much offensively capable. I'm excited to see what they can do this season. And then, of course, on defense, I think it's looking great. I do. Lucic is very good defensively, but very good offensively as well. Who has the worst... I'm thinking maybe go Makar Lucic. Makar Lucic. The worst defensive rating with Makar, with the best in Lucic, and then have Hughes and Juleson. Of course, we got Franzen and Norm Jenks, who did take a step up. Goaltender, the only one that's important, is Spike Richmond. So that's looking good. And then down at the AHL level, it's just a whole bunch of nobodies until we're able to somehow rebuild with prospects. Just a whole bunch of nobodies. Although, Andre Padan, I don't know, because I could put in Rumble and Smith, but I kind of want this team. Actually, I really don't care if the AHL team is successful. I really don't. I was thinking about it. I don't really give a shit if that team's successful. We have one prospect on that team. He is going to have top-line minutes, just for the banter. Let's go with Rumble and Andrew Smith. There you go. What a team. We'll keep Colton White on the top line. That's fine. And we got Hicketts and Graves as healthy scratches. And then offensively... just let me get this set up in the way that I would have set it up. Although, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care if the lefty-righty dynamic is on. The only player that I care about is actually down in the AHL. Okay. So, yeah, we're good. That is our AHL team this season. Nothing but bang average with Rumble and Smith on defense. So the only question is, what do we do with that fourth line? And from there, we're actually contenders. I knew I did a pretty good job of keeping the main team set up well. We have Cunning, Lucic, and Puljujärvi with letters. I don't like that. Mainly because of Puljujärvi. You don't deserve it after your playoff performances. Drouin doesn't deserve it. If Phillip Danault stays, maybe we give him captaincy. If Phillip Danault stays, I think he gets captaincy. If Phillip Danault doesn't stay, I'm giving it to Noah Juleson. So right now, we're going to go without a captain. Actually, for the moment, let's give the alternate to Phillip Danault. And we'll bump that up to captaincy if he stays on the fourth line. But again, let me know what you guys think. He could stay on the fourth line. We could just try to keep him happy. Actually, that could work. And then just get rid of Samu Jääskeläinen, who is a very solid player, but let's be honest, one of these three is going to eclipse him soon enough anyway. You know what? No, I'll still leave it up to you guys, I guess. But I would personally just trade Jääskeläinen and bring in a new fourth liner. Doesn't matter who. Hell, to be 100% honest with you, we could just call up Simmons. You know what? Nope, that's the answer, guys. I love you. If you made it this far into the episode, that is the answer. Just call up Simmons, who would have been playing in junior otherwise. He'll be on the fourth line with Danault and Roussel. Let's go trade Jääskeläinen. I'm sorry. Your reward for making it this far has already been taken away from you. Let's trade Jääskeläinen for whatever the hell we can get. One of our OG picks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4th round, 2018. Very early on, he was selected. Where can we send him? To Pittsburgh, perhaps? I don't think they're going to have the cap space, but it's worth a shot. They're not even really going to have the picks that I want either. It might work. Second and a third. Sweeten it just a touch. I can do that with all the extra picks that we have. Jääskeläinen in the fifth for a second and a third. There we go. The deal is done. We are good to go. So let's go best lines yet again. Puljujärvi, Isaac, and Conklin with Simmons. And from there, who's the better center? It's Murray Highnote. Beautiful. Team set. I like it too. It's certainly a new era, with the exception of Jonathan Drouin and Puljujärvi. We still have the younger players like Farabee, Norris, Conklin, Highnote, and Garlock. I really like the look of this team. I gotta admit, I really do. I think at the NHL level, we are still very much capable of making the playoffs. At the AHL level, you don't have to care, because we don't have anybody there that we necessarily care about. Guys, I am not going to extend this episode by another instant, considering, again, I am still super worried about getting cut off by the sound of construction. I thank you so much for watching this episode. I know it's a marathon, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Some people say, like, hey, why split up certain videos into multiple, like the playoffs? People wanted me to do the playoffs all in one shot. Well, I didn't, but I did the off-season all in one shot, and it took 2 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.